When you review a gaming peripheral like a mouse, it's a little more complicated than it seems, especially since gaming peripherals are extremely stylized and each brand and model caters to a different gamer. So when Gigabyte dropped the XM300 gaming mouse in my hands, I was a little apprehensive because I have my brand biases and requirements. I have tried to be as objective as possible. Having said that, it must be noted that I am a casual gamer who prefers shooters. With that out of the way, let's get to the review. The XM300 comes packaged in a beautiful box that you might want to keep around after opening it. With its matte black design and orange fonts, it looks premium. The features on the box are listed as follows: 20 million click Omron switches, on-the-fly DPI adjustable buttons, 4-stage DPI indicator, rubber grips, 1.8 meters ultra durable cable, 16.8 million customizable lighting, and extreme ergonomic, which is probably Gigabyte's brand name for their mouse shape. The system requirements are only mentioned for Windows 7 and upwards. There is no mention of Apple Macs, and the mouse boasts a report rate of 1000 Hz. The sides of the box more or less list the same features with the addition of the extra mouse feet and the gold-plated USB connector. All in all, the packaging is informative and also allows you to preview the mouse if you open the Velcro flap in the front. The mouse is seen in a hard plastic molded shell, and it's pretty obvious Gigabyte wants you to feel like you're buying a high-end gaming peripheral. I played on the XM300 for about a week and I found it to be a very decent gaming mouse. The Omron switches are only for the left click and the right click buttons, and have become an industry standard among gaming mice. For those of you who don't know, Omron switches provide faster response rates, longer life, and better feedback than regular switches. All the leading gaming mouse manufacturers use it, and I found it particularly useful while tap shooting in shooting games. The side buttons, however, were distracting during gaming sessions due to the slightly elevated or extruded nature of the forward button in comparison to the back button. My thumb still hasn't gotten used to it, and maybe it's just a personal gripe, but that's the only issue I had with the buttons. The DPI indicators located near the mouse wheel are perfectly placed, though again suffer a slight height. This was probably intentional to make it easily accessible, but be warned, some of you might feel it while scrolling with the mouse wheel. The mouse wheel is a charm and it's beautifully designed. It does not have a satisfying click though, but when it rolls smoothly. I love the fact that the mouse wheel has tire treads. It's a cool idea and it actually translates pretty well into good scrolling. I had no issues browsing with this bad boy on Reddit and Facebook, and even in game-changing weapons with this mouse wheel was perfectly fine. The DPI indicator is a very nice touch, and I have to say it looks cool. A lot of mice like the Logitech G502 have this feature, and it's nice to see it in a budget mouse. It's easy to use and can be programmed with the software. It's particularly useful to check on the fly in case someone messed with your settings or you accidentally changed it during an intense gaming session. The LED G symbol of the Gigabyte Extreme logo cycles through all the colors of the rainbow on default. You'll have to download the software to change it, I'm afraid. The software is a 26 MB download and the experience could have been better. Known as the Extreme Gaming Engine, I found most of the interface easy to use, but I found the programming buttons slightly frustrating. If you do figure it out, tell me how. I personally don't use the programming buttons feature. Changing the color of the mouse was fairly simple, and honestly that's all I wanted to do with this. I wish though that the software was a lot lighter and specific to just the mouse. Coming back to the mouse has a beautiful sculpt. The rubber grips on the sides makes the world of a difference, and the matte finish is great for all ye sweaty palms. It's very clear that the mouse is geared towards someone who wants to take their gaming to the next level, and in fact it is the shape of the mouse that wins me over completely. The mouse shape gives the player a lot of different grips to use from, and although I am a claw grip user, I found my fingers under a lot less stress than they usually are. A quick comparison with the similar budgeted G402 mouse makes it obvious that the XM300 does have a better shape. If you are a user who has large hands, the XM300 is perfect for you. And if you have small hands like me, the XM300 will still find a way to melt under your fingers and palm. I personally found the XM300 to be the better shaped mouse than the G402, and with the RGB lighting thrown into the box, it comes off as a winner. A lot of Indian gamers will be buying their first gaming mouse and looking at the XM300. If you are to compare it to a regular Logitech mouse, it's obvious from the shape, design and contours that you will be making a huge jump. That need not be a bad thing. The XM300 has a steep learning curve. Your hands will take 1 or 2 days to get used to its shape and design. But if you are patient, you will be fragging with deadly precision. The USB cable is long enough and rather dull, except for the gold-plated USB connector. The gold plating is good for those of us who live in humid cities because USB connectors tend to get oxidized over time with a green patina which reduces conductivity and response times. The plating is always a welcomed feature. The mouse feet at the bottom of the mouse are replaceable and you get 2 extras with the box. Yes, they've learned from the mistakes of other manufacturers. I cannot stress how important it is for mice manufacturers to give extra mouse feet. I saw no wear at all during the week I used the mouse, but I expect it to hold as long as you use a decent gaming mousepad. The only issue with the mouse is the weight. I guess I prefer a weighted mouse to a light mouse, but each to his own, and I'm sure most of you might not have that issue here. I use the XM300 on games like Counter-Strike Global Offensive. On CSGO it was quite comfortable and I found it rather easy to tap shoot with this mouse. I was able to opt alright, and I know that if I stick with this mouse, I will improve for sure. On Dota 2, I found that the mouse was dragging slightly, but then again, I have not really played Dota 2 in a very long time. I surprisingly bagged a couple of kills in a short pug match, and I'm sure that if this mouse is in the right hands, the lanes will be flooded in the blood of your enemies. Shadow Warrior 2 was a treat to play with the XM300. All things considered, I personally think that this mouse is great for shooters in general. The GIGABYTE XM300 retails for $2,990 on Amazon India with free delivery. If you have the mouse, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are after using it. Feel free to ask me any questions about the mouse and we will get back to you. We will be giving away one piece on November 15th on our channel courtesy GIGABYTE. Thanks for watching guys. I will see you in the next one. Peace and happy gaming.